Now for the finish of this game, we're going to switch over to what is probably one of the most famous calls in the history of Bay Area sports. Longtime Cal announcer Joe Starkey calls the final minute of the most amazing finish in big game history.
The Bears better not celebrate too soon. Obviously there will be no punt. There's no way they would even think about it. But here's the game. 4th and 17 back at the 13-yard line. Bears start to peel off. Elway back to throw inside his 5. He's got to get this one. Looks way downfield. He got it. It is completing the 42-yard line. He did it. Jimmy Stewart and Clement Williams making the tackle. Stanford racing the clock with 45 seconds and one timeout left. What a quarterback, John Elway. What a play. Clock running. 40 seconds to go. This one's beginning to look like Mike Langford in 74. Elway puts it up. He's got it. Caught at the 39-yard line. Out of bounds. There's a possibility that play will not count. Wait a minute. There's a possibility the receiver came back in from out of bounds. At least that's the way we saw it. Yeah, it's no good. No, the play counts. Play counts. So it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. I thought he came in from out of bounds to catch the ball, but nobody called that. So with 31 seconds to go, they still have that timeout left, but still need to get a little further downfield. Here's Elway bringing him up. Pitch back. Breaking to his left is Dotterer. Dotterer may go all the way. He is dropped at the 17-yard line. He's swept to his left on a beautiful play. Anderson and Rogers make the tackle, but Stanford is now in position to win with a field goal. Oh my goodness, what a finish. Clock has 23 seconds remaining, and they still have their timeout left. Clock begins to run again. It's down to 18. Let's see what Elway does. Pitch back. Gives it to Dotterer. Sweeps to his right. He's dropped at the 18-yard line. And now, with 8 seconds to go, Kevin Moen makes the tackle. Stanford calls the timeout and sets themselves up to win the game with a field goal of 35 yards. What a finish. I'll tell you, this is something. And for John Elway to pull this out after being 4th and 17 on his own 13-yard line with less than a minute to go is one of the most remarkable finishes you'll ever see. Harmon's a great kicker. This is a gimme for Harmon from the 35, a 35-yard kick, 8 seconds to go. Mark Harmon, 35-yard kick will win it. Listen to the crowd. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It is long enough. It is good. Stanford hits it with 4 seconds to go and takes the lead 20 to 19. Only a miracle can save the Bears as Stanford piles out on the field. Now there will be a 15-yard penalty against Stanford on the kickoff. For exuberance is about what it comes down to. So this is the big game. Awesome flow of emotions back and forth. Great football. Well, this is some show, I'll tell you. And now, the Bears in a seemingly impossible situation. They have only one timeout left. They pretty well have to run it back to save the game. And boy, talk about a heartbreaking way to lose. But what a great way to win if you are a Stanford fan. 8 seconds to go, 35-yard kick by Harmon. They'll go right up there with Langford's kick in 74, which was further, of course, a 50-yarder at the buzzer. The Bears' problem is that although the kickoff will now come from the 25-yard line, it's unlikely that Ford can get the ball and get out of bounds far enough upfield to set up one try at the field goal. What a recovery by Stanford. You have to give them all sorts of credit. 4th 4th and 17 at their own 13-yard line. It defeats Dairyman in the face, and they saved it. They pulled it out. What a show. All right, here we go with the kickoff. Harmon will probably try to squib it, and he does. Ball comes loose, and the Bears have to get out of bounds. Rogers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rogers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone. Will it count? The Bears have scored, but the bands are out on the field. There were flags all over the place. Wait and see what happens. We don't know who won the game. There are flags on the field. We have to see whether or not the flags are against Stanford or Cal. The Bears may have made some illegal laterals. It could be that it won't count. The Bears, believe it or not, took it all the way into the end zone. If the penalty is against Stanford, California would win the game. If it is not, the game is over and Stanford has won. We've heard no decision yet. Everybody's milling around on the field. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God! The most amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won the big game over Stanford. Oh, excuse me for my voice, but I have never seen anything like it in the history of I've ever seen any game in my life. The Bears have won it. There will be no extra point.